Friends, this story is about a soldier who gets stuck on a deserted island with his sister-in-law. Now, how do they both stay alive there, and whether they are able to get out of that island or not? Let's see a soldier named Clark who is sitting on a live boat. His condition is very bad, but he still somehow kept himself alive in the hope that he will definitely get some help in the future. He has been on that boat for the last several days, but today he sees a land in front of him. Seeing this, he is very happy and immediately stops the boat and starts going towards it. But he was afraid that this might be the trick of the enemy, and that is why he very calmly anchors his boat there and moves forward slowly where he sees a church. Now Clark starts thinking that on an island where there is no trace of humans, how can there be a church there? When he goes near that church, he sees that a nun is coming out from inside sweeping, which surprises Clark suddenly. Seeing him standing, she gets scared and starts apologizing to him. She thinks that maybe he is an enemy, but Clark says, "Don't worry, I am not Japanese." Now hearing this, she calms down and asks him to come inside. There, Clark sees a grave of a person, but he does not ask anything about it. After which, the nun tells him about herself, that her name is Angelina, and she is a nun who preaches religion. Her people had come to this island to show the right path to some people, but they did not know that there is a gathering of enemies here. They make this mistake, and the Japanese make them captive. Now when Father John comes to know about this, he insists on coming to his people, but he had become so old that he could not travel alone. So I agreed to come here with him, but by the time we reached here, those people had taken our people from here, after which nothing was known about them. Some people believe that they sold all the sisters and killed some. Now, when the father came to know about these things, he could not control himself, and due to this, he died. She points towards that grave and tells that I buried him there with my own hands. Since then, I live here alone, and no one came to save me because they think that I am also dead. After this, Clark starts telling her his story that he is an American Marine. His ship was attacked by enemies, but he was lucky that he survived, and he also got a boat due to which he is sitting here in front of her today. He tells that the situation outside is very bad, and no one cares about their life. And I am surprised that, how could you keep yourself alive on this island for so many days? Now hearing this, the nun starts laughing, but she does not give him any answer. Then, after a while, both of them start looking for something to eat. Clark helps her in this and climbs a mountain and breaks some coconuts from there. During this time, he also finds a cave there, inside which he will not go right now. During this time, he sees a coconut floating on the sea. The turtle falls on him. To catch it, he sits on his boat and asks the nun to sit as well. Both of them follow him, but it was not that easy. Clark falls in the water once, but finally he catches it, after which they cook it and start eating it. Then, while eating, Clark tells him that he has traveled 300 miles on this boat, but in the meantime, he never felt scared because he was sure that this war will end soon. Then, he tells about himself that he is an orphan and he has been living in an orphanage for 14 years, after which he decided to join the army so that he can do something for his country. On the other hand, the nun says that she is also an orphan like him, but she always liked to stay close to God. So she thought it better to become a nun so that she can show people the right path. She says that I get a lot of happiness in doing this work. Now here, Clark also tries to flirt with her, but the nun ignores this. Then they see something in the sky, which is, there are Japanese fighter planes. Now they had to escape from them at any cost, or else if they saw them, they would kill both of them. Then Clark tells the nun about the cave, which he had seen this morning. After this, they run to that mountain and hide in that cave. After some time, when Clark looks outside, the enemies had burnt the whole island. Fire was burning everywhere, due to which that church also got destroyed. Now seeing this view, the nun, she becomes very sad and tells Clark that you will not be able to survive like this. Then they see that many Japanese soldiers are entering the island. Maybe they had a clue that someone is living here? Then, the next morning, when Clark wakes up, he sees the view outside. Everything was destroyed, and the way to get out of here was the live board. They had burnt that too. The nun felt like crying after seeing her burnt church. But then she sees the shore, where some soldiers were coming in, and their number was very high. So both of them go inside the cave again. Then the nun says that I will surrender myself to them, so that at least you will be saved. But Clark refuses and explains that those people will do such a thing to you that you would have never thought of. So it is better to stay hidden here. Then, in the evening, when it becomes dark, Clark secretly goes to the seashore and starts catching some fish to eat from there. But in the meantime, a fish appears from there. A Japanese boat passes by, due to which he has to hide there. Now he has to do this for a long time because they were on patrolling. Clark thinks that if he goes back to the cave, he will be killed. So he is forced to apply black soil on himself and go to the Japanese camp, where he starts collecting some food items. But in the meantime, some soldiers come there and sit there, due to which Clark has to spend the whole night there. The next day, when the nun opens her eyes, she sees that Clark is not present there. Now she starts worrying about Clark. On the other hand, Clark collects a lot of food items one by one, and then when the enemies go out for practice, he leaves from there. But here, when the nun hears the sound of bullets, she thinks that maybe Clark has been killed by those people, and that is why she starts crying by putting her head on a stone. But in the meantime, Clark comes there and scolds her a lot, that she should not come out of the cave because there is a lot of danger here. Now he takes her and locks her inside immediately. He gives her a comb and advises her to never go out again. After a while, he shows his bag to the nun in which he had stolen food items from that camp. But the nun was very scared, so she tells Clark that now, whenever you go out from here, you will have to tell me first, or else I will keep going out again and again. Now hearing this, Clark promises her that, okay, this will not happen again and again. Then, one day, Clark brings a comb and a rose for the nun and starts flirting with her, while the nun also keeps it with her as a gift. Then Clark asks her if she can leave this profession of being a nun, to which the nun says that this can happen, but for that I will have to leave all this. She tells that when a nun goes back to the same world again after becoming a nun, God never forgives her, and after her death, her soul always keeps suffering. Here she also tells that we are given 5 years to become a nun, so that we can think in these 5 years and take the right decision whether we really want to become a nun or not. Do you want to become a nun or not? And there is still 1 month left for me to turn 5. Then suddenly they hear some voices, and when Clark goes outside and looks, Japanese soldiers are leaving from there, which was a good sign for them. Now both of them are very happy and start sharing this happiness with each other. Then seeing the right opportunity, the clerk puts his heart in front of the nun and tells her that, just like I gave you a gift this morning, I want to give you this gift every day. I want to serve you and spend my whole life with you. He says that time is very precious in my life, because in this I have fought with death. If you had seen my condition a few days ago, you would not have believed how I survived. Do you know that for us young people, our country comes first? And that is why we leave our family, everything, and go to fight for the country. But sometimes we also feel very lonely. Clark says that you change your decision of becoming a nun next month, and nothing will happen to you by doing this. The nun says that, can you put this ring in my hand? You see, when we wear this, we swear in the name of Jesus that now we are ready to become nuns. And when we become nuns, that is after 5 years, then we change it and wear a gold key. This is our custom, and our life goes on with such simplicity. Now Clark gets sad on hearing this and goes and stands on the side. Then near him, the nun comes, and Clark tells her that maybe your decision is right, because I will be on the border for most of the time, and in such a situation, you will not know whether I am alive or dead. Then, when they are having dinner at night, Clark gets a Japanese drink in his hand. He opens it to drink and gives it to the nun as well. But Clark drinks too much, after which he starts speaking rudely to the nun and says that, "What will you do by becoming a nun? It is better that you marry him." After which he also forces himself on her, due to which the nun gets upset and leaves from there and spends her night in the forest. Then, the next day, when Clark wakes up, he does not see the nun anywhere. He runs into the forest where he finds her lying unconscious. Her clothes were wet due to rain, so he immediately picks her up and brings her to the camp. But then he sees that the Japanese soldiers have returned, so he takes her back to the cave. But here, the nun needed warm clothes, so Clark himself goes there. Risking his life, Clark goes to that Japanese camp and starts stealing warm clothes there. But in the meantime, a soldier sees him, after which Clark is forced to kill him and then hides his body and buries it on the shore, after which he brings those warm clothes and makes the nun wear them. Then after 2 days, when the nun regains consciousness, she is surprised to see her condition and wonders who changed her clothes, and then she sees Clark sitting next to her, who tells her that her condition had become like death, so he changed her clothes. He also apologizes to her for this because he did not do it intentionally. Now the nun also forgives him and finally tells him that I did not run away from here because of you, but I could not hear the things you said to me last night, and that is why I left from here. Then, after a while, they hear the sound of bullets from outside. Clark says that I thought wrong. Those people have returned, so we have to do something. The nun says that maybe God does not approve of me becoming a nun. He wants both of us to go to him together, just like he sent Adam and Eve. He sent us here. But now our work is over, and now it is our turn to leave. But Clark does not listen to him and goes outside and sees that fire is burning around that island. He had found the dead body of his companion, due to which he was searching for her murderer everywhere. When Clark tells this to the nun, she gets worried and starts praying, but Clark decides that he will go and surrender himself to them so that the nun's life will be saved. But the nun refuses to do so. Then they start hearing some sounds from outside. They had found that cave, so he tells both of them that whoever is inside should come out, or else we will blow up this cave from inside. Now Clark does not have any answer, so he quietly goes back and sits and accepts his death. On the other hand, Nunvi starts praying, and both of them feel that this is their last moment. But then they start hearing some sounds from outside, and it happens. It seems that bombs are exploding outside. They all start shouting, and then Clark understands that the American soldiers have come out, and that is why all these soldiers are running away. But these bombs were falling everywhere, so it was not safe for them to go out. It is better that these people stay here and keep praying. After some time, an idea comes to Clark's mind, and he immediately stands up and says that if the Americans have come here, they will get trapped in the trap of bombs laid by the Japanese and will be killed. So I have to defuse them somehow. Only then they will reach us and will be able to take us out. He goes outside and sees that no Japanese soldier is left there. Bombs are exploding everywhere, so he starts defusing them one by one. In the end, he also spoils that main machine due to which it stops working. Clark also gets hurt in this, but he had saved the lives of many soldiers. After some time, everything calms down, and both of them come out here. The nun treats him and bandages his wounds. Clark says that now our end is near. We may never meet again, and this may be our last meeting. The nun says, "But still, I will always keep you close to my heart, because you gave me hope to live for so long. You will always be my best friend, even if we are together." No matter how far they are, now both of them become emotional, and during this time, US Marines also arrive there and start taking them away from there. And friends, with this, the story ends here.